How's it going, YouTube Nation? I'm Jonathan. The purpose of this video um, is awareness, or not so much as awareness, is to really answer questions. Um, so what I mean by awareness, I suppose, is there are many people that have questions when it comes down to the Christian faith, or mainly there are so many people on the border of I think I believe in God, or I used to believe in God, but there's been things that swayed me. Is Jesus real? Things like that. And my main purpose in this video is to answer questions, and I'll be going through a couple notes throughout that I have set. The point, there are 5-10 minute videos literally to answer questions that so many people have, and so many people have come to me with. So at the end of videos, or at any point in time, you just want to drop a comment into the video as a question. I will be answering those questions in videos coming. So main thing I want to get out here, I'm aware I said Christian, but I want to make it very clear about the difference between Christianity, or having Christianity as a religion, and being a believer. So essentially, Christianity as a religion versus as a lifestyle, or otherwise being a believer. So what is a religious Christian, and what is a believer? Because to start, nowhere in the Bible do you see Jesus or his disciples calling themselves Christians. You will, however, see them calling themselves believers. So you're not supposed to be religious. Religion is actually something that's kind of, in a sense, made up to kind of coin things as a term, or coin these different denominations as a term. But you'll see throughout that people that are religious, especially in the Christian faith, they're religious Christians. They'll live their lives 6 days a week, sinning and doing whatever, drinking, smoking, however, general sin. And then on that seventh day, they go to church Sunday, and they'll praise, and they'll say, "Oh, I'm fine, regardless of how I live my life there. I'm there on Sunday." But you can't really tell these people are what they say they are outside of that Sunday. They may tell you they're Christian, but be otherwise. They're not living the lifestyle when looked at outside of church. They're outside of church. They seem like they're carnal and worldly, and that's really not how you're supposed to be. And that's what I mean by saying you're not supposed to be religious. True Christianity just means to be Christ-like. Jesus came not only to save men, but to set an example for how you were supposed to be. That's why the New Testament is actually the new covenant with God. And I'm just gonna, like I said, be flipping through notes here that I really want to cover, because I kind of want to go over the difference between a believer and a religious Christian. So I kind of told you the difference there of what a religious Christian is. Even to say, not just the ones that, because don't get me wrong, you've got plenty of people who claim that they're Christian, and they coin themselves as Christian because that's what they grew up as, that's what they know. And you've got a lot of them that are actually following the faith and are fitting those terms as believer. But to put it as being Christian is a term that was literally made up to describe that. And my main thing is that you are not to be religious. So what's the difference of a believer? A believer lives the lifestyle. The Bible actually says he will be known by his works, not by his mouth saying that I'm this and that. You'll be known by your lifestyle. People can literally tell there is something different with you. I get this literally all the time, all throughout my life. I've been a believer in God. I've been a born again, saved, baptized, tongue speaking believer since I was little. And it literally makes a difference and a change that is visible to see. I have literally, since I was young, been out with my friends, and they'll say, I mean, you know, you're cool, and, you know, you hang out with us, and this and that and the other, and I mean, for the most part, I mean, you're like normal people, but there is something about you, and I can't really put my finger on it to say what it is, but there is something about you that is different, and in all honesty, that's the God in me. And when I was young, I didn't like people saying it because I didn't understand it. But once I hit maybe somewhere about 16, 17, I started to really understand what that was. And I honestly love to hear people saying that. I absolutely love to hear it. Because you're right, there is something about me that is different. And that is the God in me. And I give him the glory whenever I hear that. And I let people know, yes, I'm like you to a point, but I am by no ways carnal. That difference that you can't put your finger on, that's God. And it's the whole reason I am where I am today. It's the whole reason I've been successful, because yeah, I put in my work, but I would not be where I am today without God and without Jesus in my life. It's just, it's simple fact. And just to kind of go on, I'm kind of digressing here a bit, but essentially, like I said before, people can tell that there's something different about you. Like I said, the Bible says you will be known by your works, and I'm just gonna go through a couple different scriptures that actually says this. And the first one is Matthew 7:16. Give me just a second, and I'm actually gonna flip to that. You can follow along if you have, you know, the Bible on your phone, or you have the Bible in front of you, which I doubt, but you might. We're going to go to Matthew 7:16. And Matthew 7:16 says, "You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit." So essentially, this is saying you're known by your works, and people will know good by the good that it produces. So you don't look at a good tree that bears good fruit and think that this tree bears evil. No, you associate that with good. So your works that you bear as good fruit, you will be known by that. They will know you as a believer by the actions that you produce. And to continue, we've got Mark 16:17. And I'm going to go to that. And this video is a little bit longer because this is actually the first video. It's my introduction video. Normally, I try to keep them about 5. I'm going to be trying to keep them about 5 and 10 minutes long. But Mark 16:17. And it says, "And these signs shall follow them that believe in my name." Now notice it doesn't say, "and these signs shall follow Christians." It says, "and these signs shall follow them that believe," and otherwise shall follow the believers. And I made that point earlier that the Bible does not call his believers Christians. It's believers. It says, "and these signs shall follow them that believe in my name. Shall they cast out devils? Shall they speak in new tongues? They shall take up serpents. And if they drink in deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover." These believers have signs follow them by their works. People will know them by their works. So that's the main point that I wanted to really get out in this video, is the difference between a Christian and the difference between a believer. And the main reason I wanted to get that out is just to have that difference, because there are plenty of videos around YouTube that says Christian this, Christian versus atheist, this, Christian, and it's speaking on the Christian faith of what that is, but doesn't really talk about what the Bible says of how your lifestyle actually is, or how that, what that person, that Christian, that term that they've deemed actually is. And I just kind of want to get that out. So just to digress back to the beginning of the video, the whole purpose is to answer questions. Whatever questions you have, I don't care if you're an atheist and trying to debunk it, if you're some other religion, Muslim or some whatever it is, believe me, you are not going to you're not going to make me feel any type of way. Whatever you may put up on here, it'll be the same tone as I speak to you now, because I'm aware people have questions, and you have a right to speak as you have those questions. But whatever questions you do have, please drop it in the comments. I'll be checking it multiple times daily, making as many videos as necessary to cover those questions. If you have questions, like I say, if you're wondering about God, you're wondering about you're tipping the scale. I believe that there's someone there. I don't know who he is. I don't know him by name. I don't know how to pray, but I want to come closer. However be it, if you're scared of just generally scared to come to him, just please drop a comment and I will make a video on that, and that is my promise. Thank you.